Hey, good afternoon or good morning, wherever you are in the United States prior to coming to Fort Benning, Georgia. I'm Colonel Victor Satterlund, and I'm the commander of the 199th Infantry Brigade, the Red Catchers, or the Leader Brigade. Inside of our brigade, we have 311 Infantry, which is OCS, and we have 211, which is IBOLC. Today, this podcast is really to help you prepare, think about what you need to do and what you can expect prior to arriving to the Infantry Officer Basic Leader course. So IBOLC is a 19-week program of instruction, or a POI. It is designed to prepare infantry leaders for combat operations in the future at their unit of assignment once they move out to FORCECOM upon the completion of all their assigned training at Fort Benning, Georgia. A couple key things that we want to talk about today for you to consider. Obviously, prior to arrival, you're going to have orders bringing you to Fort Benning, Georgia. Those orders, depending on what component that you're a part of, or whether you're National Guard, Reserve, or an active duty soldier coming here, you're going to have orders bringing you here to Fort Benning. For those active duty soldiers, it should be with a report date no earlier than 14 days prior to the start of the course. For others, it may be a little bit earlier. You're going to come to Fort Benning, Georgia, and you're going to sign into the Infantry Officer Basic Leader course. Once you've signed in there, you're going to begin what's called our 2-week Provost in Processing program. That is managed by 381, and that takes place over at Building 4 in Room Whiskey 120. During that 2 weeks, we're going to get you fully integrated into Fort Benning, into all the Army systems, get your DD-93s, SLVs, SGLI updated for your service members group life insurance, to make sure that you're squared away in all administrative facets prior to beginning the course. The purpose of this is so to make sure your pay, all your benefits, your ID card, and all those administrative functions are complete, so that as you go into the actual 19-week POI, you're concentrating on what you need to prior to beginning the course, and that's your focus. It's also to bring your family on board, to give you time for those 2 weeks to make sure that you're receiving your household goods, that your spouse is familiar with what they have access to here on the installation, to make sure that they are brought into the family here at the 199th and they're aware of what you're going to go through for the next 19 weeks and beyond, depending on the training path that you're going to be on, the glide path. And so that they are very familiar and aware of what you're doing day to day and have a good, solid understanding of that to help alleviate any matters ahead of time prior to you actually beginning the course. So as you come into Fort Benning, a lot of people do opt to live on Fort Benning. As you may be aware, there's obviously some housing shortages across the United States. Fort Benning and Columbus and the surrounding area are probably no different. As you come into Fort Benning, months prior when you have your orders, it behooves you to go ahead and start looking, if you so choose to live off post, to find a residence well ahead of time and to think about where you might want to live prior to arriving here and do your research, and obviously come prepared to then to go look off post, get familiar with the areas, the school districts in and amongst the Columbus, Fort Benning, and surrounding area, or if you so choose to live on the Alabama side, the Fort Mitchell area, or Phoenix City. If that's what you want to do, it's going to require a little bit more time, and it's going to require a little bit more effort on your part to go ahead and secure that residence prior to beginning the course. If you choose to live on Fort Benning, obviously there is a housing list here at Fort Benning where you get on a all-mail based off when you are going to arrive, based off when you give them the orders, and they will put you with a number on that list, and that is to get you housing. It's based off the number of people in your family, is going to dictate what type of home you get, and then what type of home you're authorized based off the number of people. Obviously, there may be a longer or shorter wait for that. You definitely want to get in contact with the Fort Benning Housing Office here on the installation. Very good people, absolutely willing to bend over backwards to help service members and their families get on post. Very responsive to your needs, but they have to be informed. You have to provide them copies of your orders, and you want to maintain consistent contact with them as early as possible upon notification that you are coming to Fort Benning, Georgia. So you have two options, obviously living on post and living off post. Now, there are benefits both ways, right? Living off post Potentially, if you have a particular school district you're interested in, or a program that is more conducive to sports, should your children be involved in that, you may so choose to live off post to give your children the benefit of that advantage, whatever their interest may be. But living on post also comes with benefits as well. Obviously, you're in a 19-week POI. You're going to have follow-on schools. You can expect to spend anywhere from the time you sign in, potentially 12 months on the installation, sometimes longer, depending on course start dates and follow-on schooling that is required based off your unit of assignment. And so living on post and having easy access to get around, get to IBOLC, go out to the field, the commissary, the PX, and all the other facilities and amenities that come with living on a federal installation makes this kind of a one-stop shop. It's also very it's a family-friendly environment, very supportive with the Morale, Welfare, and Recreation Center here. A lot of opportunities for spouses to potentially find employment and or facilities for childcare on post for your children. So it's meant and designed to be that way, as it is through most of the United States and other installations throughout the Army. But Fort Benning, obviously the saying, it's better at Benning. So I always advocate, if it's your first time coming in the military as a new officer, living on post for your initial time, getting acclimated to the way the Army does business and how we support families is always a good experience. And I think it's a little bit more conducive to relieving stress on the family, not having to make that transit back and forth from off post to on post, potentially being in a little bit of a rush trying to get into first formation. So I think it's definitely a good opportunity for you guys to explore that, and then give you the frame of reference as you move on to your next unit of assignment, whether or not you want to live off post. But either way, you're in good shape, great community in the Columbus area. And I think, that's the first major decision you have to make. Key things with that: be well informed, have your orders, and be planning well ahead, and stay in constant communication with the housing office here, should you choose to live on post. And then kind of identifying if I don't think I'm going to get a house within a certain amount of time, at which point do I make the determination I'm going to go ahead and transition to moving off post. So that's in a nutshell what you're going to do prior to coming here. Now, upon arrival, like I said, you're going to sign in to 211 Infantry, Lieutenant Colonel Anderson, Command Sergeant Major Gomez. And then once you've completed signing in with them, they'll gain accountability over. They're going to hand you over to 381 for a 2-week in processing period underneath the Provost program. So you're going to come in. So for your initial timeline here at Fort Benning, Georgia, upon arrival, hopefully no earlier than 14 days, generally coming to the post. You sign in and you're going to do 14 days, 2-week period of in processing, where we're going to get you 100% good to go on all your administrative tasks so that you can concentrate on IBOLC. Now, IBOLC in and of itself is a 19-week POI that takes you from individual all the way through platoon collective task training. And it is broken down with a balance between garrison work and field time, taking you from fire team, squad to platoon operations, and some level of company operations, urban operations, etc., prior to graduation. So it's going to be 19 weeks in duration. All right, here's where we start to discuss what we call the pipeline here at Fort Benning and inside the 199th. Somewhere around week 7 of your time at Fort Benning, Georgia, inside of IBOLC, if you did not graduate from West Point, if you are either an OCS graduate or an ROTC commissioning source graduate, you're going to receive your unit of assignment around week 7 of IBOLC. Okay, the West Point individuals that graduated West Point will have their unit of assignment prior to getting here, so they're in a little bit different boat, but we all kind of level off about week 7 of IBOLC. Now, week 7, based off needs of the Army, they're going to determine where you're going to go throughout the Force Com formation and units out throughout the United States, whether that's the 101st Airborne, 2CR, it really doesn't matter. Everybody's going to receive a unit of assignment. Now, those units of assignment we break down in different categories. So you got your general, your light infantry assignments. So we're talking the 25th Infantry Division, 101st, 10th Mountain, etc. or you may go to an airborne unit, would fall into that category as well, the 82nd Airborne or 173rd in Vicenza, Italy. Then you're going to have your mech assignments, and then you're also going to have your heavy assignments. So those individuals going to heavy brigade combat teams, etc. Now, mech and heavy we'll put in one group, and then you're going to have strikers. So based off your unit assignment, upon graduation from IBOLC, every single infantry officer will receive the opportunity and a high level of encouragement to attend United States Army Ranger School. As obviously the Army's foremost leadership school for infantry officers and NCOs throughout our Army, and we highly encourage and we will set everybody up for success to go to attend and have successfully complete United States Army Ranger School. Prior to going to Ranger School, we will run you through what is called the Ranger Certification Program. I personally refer to this as a finishing course to IBOLC. IBOLC in and of itself provides you with all the skill sets to successfully complete Ranger School. Small unit tactics, platoon level operations, operations orders, troop leading procedures, they are all covered inside of the program of instruction within IBOLC. Ranger certification is to help focus those individuals attending Ranger School on those specific things that we see historically cause students the greatest amount of trouble coming out of IBOLC. And obviously we go back at times based off that feedback and we make tweaks inside of the IBOLC POI to ensure that we're addressing those concerns. However, where we primarily do that is the Ranger Certification Program. So the Ranger Certification Program is a 2-week MOI that is primarily focused on ensuring that we set you up for success for the gates that we know within the first phase of Ranger School are going to cause you the greatest amount of trouble. So we are going to get you back out to the land navigation course. We're going to do the water survival test to ensure that you're capable of passing that test and being safe inside of Ranger School. You're going to execute the 12-mile road march, and you're going to execute what is known as the RPA, Ranger Physical Assessment, which is 2 minutes of push-ups, 2 minutes of sit-ups, 5-mile run, and then pull-ups, making sure that we can execute 49, 59, run 5 miles in less than 40 minutes, and do 6 proper pull-ups. All right. In addition, during this 2-week period, for the Ranger certification, while those are the physical events, you're also receiving class on small unit tactics, the duties and responsibilities of the PL, platoon sergeant, and squad leaders during patrol base and planning, during movement, and then actions on the objective to prepare you to go to Ranger School and be successful. Upon completion and validation of all the tasks inside the Ranger certification program, you will then attend Ranger School. So in this pipeline, you've completed 2 weeks of in-processing. You've done the 19 weeks of POI. You've done 2 weeks of the Ranger Certification Program, which is also run by 211. And then you have conducted Ranger School. Now, upon successful completion of Ranger School, this is where your unit of assignment that you were given during week 7 of the IBOLC timeline, you're going to fall into one of the categories of these 3 categories. If you're a light infantry officer that has completed Ranger School and you are going to a light infantry unit, you are going to move immediately upon graduation of Ranger School. You will then fall into what we call the permanent change of station platoon. It is a platoon, PCS platoon, where we put all individuals that have completed their either unit-specific training following IBOLC. It's where we put you so that you can concentrate on the things you have to do to out-process the installation. And then simultaneously, while you're in the PCS platoon, we have a special program which is called Ranger Recovery to help your body physically recover from the rigors of Ranger School so that when you arrive at your unit, you arrive physically and mentally prepared to execute your duties as a platoon leader. That is run concurrently with the PCS platoon. All right, so that is not a course in and of itself. It is a benefit of the tactical athlete program and center that we have here on Fort Benning that falls in the 199th TAP C which is outfitted with various physical trainers, dietitians, and physicians that will help you get fully recovered following Ranger School while you're conducting your PCS tasks at Benning. So if you go to light infantry, you're going to go finish the 2-week POIR cert, go to Ranger School, move to the PCS platoon, and you will transition out to your unit. Now, if you're going to a mechanized unit, whether you potentially be a Bradley platoon leader, we're going to send you to either the Bradley leader course or the Bradley commander course based off course availability. That is to prepare you for the formation type that you are going to further round out the skill set that you gained during IBOLC, and to prepare you to lead that formation effectively into combat. And then again, following one of those schools, so if you're going there, you're going to go to the Bradley leader course, the Bradley commander course, and then you'll move to the PCS platoon, and then on to your next duty of assignment, duty station of assignment. Similarly, if you're going to a striker unit, you're going to follow that same pipeline through Ranger School, and then you're going to go, instead of the Bradley leader or Bradley commander course, if you're going to a mech unit or heavy brigade, you're going to go to the striker leader course. And upon completion of the striker leader course, you will then transition to the PCS platoon, where simultaneously you will conduct a Ranger recovery program. And then you'll move on out to your next duty station of assignment. All right. All in all, our goal with these courses is to run at different times and periods throughout the year is to have you arrive to Fort Benning, complete all of your training, unit-specific training as well, and be out of here somewhere around or less than 12 months time on station. Now, I get a lot of questions from lieutenants, well, sir, what about the other courses? What about, well, it's no longer going to be one here on Fort Benning inside of our schoolhouse, but, Pathfinder School or Infantry Mortar Leader, MLOC, Infantry Mortar Leader course, the Sniper Employment course, or just a number of courses offered here at Fort Benning. And my response to them is, in a career timeline for a lieutenant, from the time you get commissioned to the time you're looking at making captain is roughly 4 years. All right. So as we look at these 4 years, if your time at Fort Benning is taken up, if we keep you under a year, that leaves you 3 years for assignments at your next duty assignment in your Force Comm unit to develop yourself and the skill set that you will need prior then to attending the Maneuver Captain's Career Course and going out to be a company commander. And every month or 6 months or a year we take beyond that year, we are eating into those developmental assignments that you're going to have that will prepare you to be a company commander. So if we take this year in a perfect timeline, if we keep you under a year, you're going to go spend potentially, depending on your unit and its needs, 12 months, potentially 18 months as a platoon leader, a line platoon leader in your organization. Potentially then after that, you have the opportunity to serve as a specialty platoon leader, whether as a scout or a mortar platoon leader or a maintenance platoon leader, whatever it is that your unit needs. All right, that would be another 12 months, potentially. And then, or you could be doing a company executive officer time during that same time period. Or should you choose to potentially seek to go to the 75th Ranger Regiment after your first 12 to 18 months, it also affords you that time to go to the 75th or any other special assignments that may be offered. And in either one of these courses of action, should you choose to be an XO or be offered the opportunity based off your performance, be a specialty platoon leader or a company executive officer, that allows for 12 to 18 months to do that and potentially some time on a battalion staff as an assistant S4 and assistant S3 to round you out as an officer prior to going to the Maneuver Captain's Career Course. All right. Every bit of time that we take beyond that 12 months is taking away potentially one of these opportunities that's developmental for you, when we're trying to get you to be a company commander following the Captain's Career Course. So You can never go back in time as a lieutenant and get that time. You can never go back and be like, as a captain and you're a company commander, man, I wish I had had the opportunity to be a company executive officer. Now that I am responsible for a company executive officer, counseling them on their duties and responsibilities. Similarly, man, I wish I had had time to be a specialty platoon leader. Now I'm an HHC commander, and I never had the opportunity to, be a specialty platoon leader. I don't understand how a headquarters company works, etc. So this time right here, we want to preserve to the greatest extent possible this 3 years that you have, right? So that you can develop to the utmost potential that you have inside of your unit, so that when you come to the Captain's Career Course and go out to be a company commander, you are fully prepared to lead your formation with the experience and the knowledge base that you've established as a lieutenant. That's why we try to keep everything underneath 12 months. That's not to say we don't have individuals either based off injuries sustained while they're here or other administrative concerns or just general life concerns that arrive or develop during the course that doesn't extend them beyond 12 months. But for every case beyond 12 months, we brief the infantry commandant, Brigadier General Burris, on each one of those soldiers and what is the event that's causing them to have to stay beyond 12 months. That's the level of emphasis and focus that we place upon each one of you here to make sure that you develop properly and your time on Benning is best utilized to support you going forward in your career. So I know there's a lot of questions that people have prior to coming here. I hope that helped to answer a few of them. If you have additional questions, please throw them in the comments block on this initial blog that we're putting out here for everybody. And I hope this is of benefit to you and your family. I know there may be some questions that come up, especially from your family members as well, based off this conversation and or the school or our pipeline. Please just drop them in there and we'll reply as quickly as possible to those as well. As you get your orders and prepare to come to IBOLC, you should be contacted by the IBOLC chain of command with a letter of introduction from the battalion commander and the company commander, also informing you on what you can expect when you come here with a little bit more refinement and granularity in what you can expect day to day. So I look forward to each one of you coming to Fort Benning. This is a great opportunity. I'm very honored to be here and be your brigade commander. Feel everything's come full circle as I was here, 21 years ago. And it's truly a blessing every day to go out and see each one of you, working to your greatest potential for what you can become. So on behalf of myself, Major General Donahoe and Command Sergeant Major Goner, and Brigadier General Burris and Command Sergeant Major Gunn, myself and Command Sergeant Major Young, we look forward to having each one of you arrive at Fort Benning, Georgia. Thank you.